Hi everyone, this is Nikki of Nikki Hearts Cards. I'm back again today with another video. This one is going to go over a die cut card, and we're going to look at using pencils and pens and things to make some extra special details with our die cut cards. Sometimes I feel like I run out of ways to make it special, and so adding these extra details I feel like makes your card really pop and stand out. So I'm hoping that you will enjoy these as much as I do. Make sure if you haven't done it yet that you hit the subscribe and like button, and we'll go over this die, but we'll also go over how we're adding those details. So let's get started. I show you this die, I wanted to say really quick, make sure you click on the link in the description that sends you to the Card Maker Success Summit. That is a free thing where we're doing lots. There's probably, I don't know how many speakers there are, but there's a lot of us, and we're doing a private class that you've got access to for 24 hours for free, and that is getting you on the wait list. So sign up for the official thing starts on February the 2nd. So I want to make sure you're on the wait list so you get notified. This is the new die from iCrafter. It's called the PEGBOARD Shelfie. And so this pegboard has all these plants. It's got little shelves you can put on it. I really like all of the little elements, like a little lamp. I feel like that could be used in all kinds of ways. These plants could make their own card. I mean, they're just really awesome. We've got a frame, we've got some letters, and a second frame and a heart. So those letters, you've got HLV, ME, and YOU. So I'm going to spell home with my letters, which is one of the options. Of course, you could spell love, you could spell some other thing. I haven't put this together to decide how many different combinations, but there's a little and sign, so you could do me and you. I really struggle with cards for people when they've gotten a new house, and I want to say congrats. So I'm going to go with home and make this a card for someone who just got a new house. So I'm going to do mine kind of a light gray. I feel like this is going to be, I'm going to try to make this kind of a stylish card. So I want it to be, you know, cool colors that people would want to use in their house, something that'll really show off those plants. And I have this kind of like almost like an oyster gray cardstock that I found that I am going to use as the back of my card. The other nice thing about this pegboard is if you are a stitcher, you could easily do some cross stitching on this card. You could do some cool stitching accents. That's not the type of card that I'm making today, but I just thought that could be a really cool idea. So one tip that I have for creating something that looks stylish and really matches well is to use colors that coordinate. And the easiest way to do this, so I'm going to use a block to hold down this, make sure everything sticks, but the easiest way is to use a paper pack. And I love this scrapbook.com Sherbet smooth cardstock because it has all of these colors that are awesome and going to look so cool in this little pegboard. So I'm going to use the pink, I'm going to use some of the orange, I'm going to use some of those different colors of greens, and then I'm going to show you next what I use to add extra details to these leaves. I used Faber-Castell Polychromos. I know that's a long word. All of this will be linked in the description. I tried using some lighter colors, and that does make an effect, but it definitely, if you're gonna make the veins in this, it really works better to have this darker green. You could do this with any kind of colored pencil. You could even shade with gray and make this look really cool. You may not see the immediate detail, but I'm gonna hold it up to the camera and show you the difference between the pieces that I shade in and add the veining. And the nice thing with iCrafter is that a lot of these pieces, even though they're so small it's hard for you to tell, but a lot of them have some embossed details that you can just follow along. So if you can see, I've added some detail to this so that it's got a shading down the middle. And then we're going to look at this. This big one here is a little more confusing. It doesn't have the embossed lines, so I'm just adding some shading in the middle of each of the little leaves that are coming out. Make these lines as dark as you want. I always start kind of light and then go back and add in if I want to darken anything else. So you can see those little lines. I know that's very faint, but it really does make it look different than if you're not doing it. This one is my favorite one of iCrafter to color these lines because they are all embossed. So all I did is follow along the embossed areas. And you can see with both colors of green, I'm staying with just this dark pencil. So you could change it up and really get creative with this, but I really like coordinating the shadows and the same color, especially when my papers coordinate so well. They just match the way they're supposed to. Here's how this one looks up close. I even kind of use my pencil around the edges, you know, because this cardstock has a white core. So sometimes adding a little bit of extra shadow around the edges helps too. Let me show it to you as I pick it up and get it closer to the camera. So here it is. Looks so cute. And I'm going to add a little bit around these edges just to kind of darken them up a little bit. So that's an option too that you can do with your pencil. You can do this easily with Copics. And you know, with these little bitty details, you could do this with a Copic marker, but it's just so tiny that I feel like the point of my pencil really helps me get in those little tiny lines and make tiny details. Here's the difference in one that I didn't do and one that I did. Can you tell? So the one on the left I haven't done yet, and the one on the right I just added details to. So I can tell a huge difference, and to me it makes a difference on the final card. So I'm going to go and finish up the leaves, and then I'm going to show you how I use some pen to add some extra details to the card as well. The vases here have lots of embossed lines. So I took my gold pen and I'm adding gold details to the vases. And the reason I'm doing this is because I know that I'm going to use some gold lettering, and I wanted to have that as my coordinating color. And once again, I'm trying to make this look like a stylish new home with gold accents because that's so popular right now. So each of these little areas that stood up, I did a gold line. And I don't end up using all these colors, but I'm just trying to give you the idea of how you do this. So these lines are embossed to stand up. So I just went and colored the lines and it looks so cool. And I just forget to use my gold pen. I mean, you could make these lines on a plain flat vase on anything, and it really enhances the design. So especially if you love making die cut cards like I do, and you're always looking for new ways to have some detail on there, think about getting out your white and your black and your gold and silver pens and just seeing where you can add some extra detail to make those stand out. So now it's time to put together this card. I've cut all of these little white shelves. You could also do your shelves in a different color. I thought about doing mine like in a dark gray, but I really liked the white contrast. So I've got all these pieces, and this is how I usually start a card. I just start adding, and I try to add things that, you know, like the main focus of the card. So this main shelf is going to be my focal point. I've got to decide how tall. So with this shelf system, you want to make sure that your plants fit. Now, I will show you some ways to make that if you're like, I want to put these, or if you accidentally glued down your shelves first and you have to make the plants fit, I'll show you some ways to do that. I'm going to make this main shelf the focal point. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue everything that goes on it. So I'm going to put my gold lamp and I'm going to put home here. And I looked at different ways of doing this and the pieces that I have. I definitely have an O, but we also have that little heart, and it's got an embossed heart in the middle that looks really good with my gold pen on it. So I'm going to glue this down and then we'll arrange our shelves and our plants. So I'm going to start with my tallest plant because I wanted to do one that was really tall. And then I'm going to start looking at all my other small vases and putting parts of these together. And just remember, you can cut off stems, you can cut off leaves, things like that. I'm going to start and just see how this fits. I'm putting it in this smallest, almost like, it's almost like a bowl. And so I'm going to put it in the bowl and make sure that it fits and cut off extra stems if I need to. And I know that's kind of going off camera, but that stem was too long for that. So I'm going to get these together and just arrange with some glue. It's always good, I feel like, when you're putting die cut things together to use a glue that you can move around. This time I think I used Lawn Fawn's glue, which is very similar to Gina K Connect. So I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to speed this up so you can kind of look at how I put things together, but not to bore you too much. Last thing about this card that I think really balances it is trying to make your elements odd. So odd numbers help. I got too much glue on that one, oops. But it really helps balance it. So if you'll notice when this is done, and I'll of course show you another clip, but I'm trying to have odd numbers of plants, odd numbers of shelves, that kind of thing, just to make it look more balanced and look better to the eye. This is always why it's such a good idea to use glue when you're putting together some card like this, because you can remove things and put them back down. So I really like the Gina Connect for this. I like this Tombow glue. I like Lawn Fawn's glue. A lot of those are really great and easily mobile. So I will link all of that stuff in the description so that you'll know what I use for this card. But I just love how this turned out. I feel like it's such a great, cute little card to welcome somebody to their new home. So I hope that you guys have a great day. Make sure you click on those links below if you're going shopping. Those do give me a small commission, which really helps support the channel. And if you hadn't done it yet, hit subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.